What is up? This is episode 17 of the Omaha Dreams podcast, hosted by
myself, Brendan Young, career 300 high school hitter and a zero-star baseball recruit. And across from me is Connor Heilman, the all-time leader in Little League walks, eyes like a hawk, but he ain't built like one.
Sir. All right. Well, we're going to start off with something a little different today. Do you want to start?
Yeah. So we haven't done social media madness in a while.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't really had anything of note that I really wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I think we in general just kind of I don't know. It's hard to like stay up to date with social media all the time, but like, especially on our side of like the Omaha Dreams podcast, like we have our own separate things and we see stuff on there.
Yeah.
So this is one of the things we saw on there. And then, I mean, it's kind of just crazy in general.
Yeah. It's like people outside of the college baseball world know about this.
Yeah,
So we had two junior college teams going at it.
Yeah, North Central and Weatherford.
I don't even know what team this guy played for. Anyways, some dude hits a tank and is chirping the pitcher like the whole way around the bases.
It looks like it's North. He's playing for North Central, I guess.
Okay, so North, the pitcher?
No, the hitter.
So North Central hitter hits a tank, and then he's chirping the whole way around the bases. He rounds third base, and then like a bat out of hell, you see the pitcher just run straight from the pitcher's mound over to third base and just deck this dude.
Decked him. An absolutely insane
like, helmet flies off.
Yeah. The dude was not expecting it. He finally looked up last moment, but it was just way too late for him, and he just got laid out like a sack of potatoes.
I want to know how nobody on the pitcher's team was like out there with him.
No, everyone from his team comes in at the very end.
Yeah.
It's just the whole North Central team coming out, and then this pitcher just all by his lonesome.
I guess I understand it because like there's no way you defend that guy.
No, you can't.
But like at the end of the day, like he's your teammate. Like, would you be out there?
I mean, I think I wouldn't even say I don't know, dude. Like if I was the third baseman, you got to be the first one there, right?
Yeah.
But it's the third baseman's like not even looking, and then he sees it last minute, and then he's jumping and he's clapping, and then he's like, "Oh shit, I got to get in this." Yeah. That's my guy.
There's like the third baseman and the catcher are the only one to show up,
and then everyone else starts running in real late.
Yeah.
Let's see what the shortstop does. He gets a nice little jog in there. He's like, yeah, sits in the back. Everyone else is just kind of
like, I would have been.
It wasn't like a brawl. Like no one.
Yeah.
Everyone was just like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, what just happened? But from the hitter's team perspective, like if that pitcher is on the ground, what are you doing to him?
You got to get some kidney punches in or something, right?
I'm beating the shit out of him. After he just rocked my teammate like that.
Yeah.
Like blindsided him.
He shot. He blind. Yeah. The dude had no idea it was coming.
Well, the dude got kicked off the team.
The dude who made the tackle?
Yeah. And there's talks that he might get like kicked out of the school too.
Yeah. I mean, you can't do that. It's not football.
No.
It's baseball.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I mean, first off, if you don't want to get chirped at, maybe you shouldn't leave a pitch hanging over the plate and just getting it taken yard. And from the hitter perspective, if you're gonna chirp all the way around the bases, I'd probably keep my eyes on the pitcher.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like looking down and being like, yeah, and then
giving like, third base coach like
high fives. Yeah, no, I'm looking at the pitcher the whole time.
Yeah, like if you're chirping from home plate to second base, like you might as well continue it around third base.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
All right. Well, that's a little bit of social media madness for you.
Some madness for sure.
Yeah, absolute madness. All right. Well, with that being said, we have our midweek preview for week 10, and then we have our midweek recap and weekend preview for week 10.
You almost stumbled on the name of the podcast.
Well, no, I almost said 19.
Yeah.
Episode 19. And I was like, that's not right. All right. Well, let's get into midweek recap. we're going to start on Monday. We had 12 Gonzaga at 2 Oregon State. This was a 2-game set. I took the split.
I took Oregon State, and when I took it, I knew you made the right pick, and it just turned out to be even more correct.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened.
Yep. So on Monday, Gonzaga wins at 13-6. The Beavers jump out to a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the first. Gonzaga gets 4 in the top of the second. Catcher Ezra Semperi gets a 2-run triple, 2 runs batted in, right? And then he scores on a wild pitch. So first off, let's talk about this. That catcher has got some speed.
Yeah.
Getting a triple? Come on.
And then stealing home, basically.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
Not stealing home, but
who knows where
home.
that ball went?
Yeah.
In the bottom half of this frame, though, the Beavs answered, and they scored 3 more runs, but it's going to be their final 3 runs of the game. Gonzaga then explodes, scoring 7 in the top of the fourth. They get 1 more in the 6th and 7th as well, but that's all she wrote in this one.
Yeah, Jacob Rutherford, he comes into this game in the second inning in sort of like a mop-up role after those first,
the first pitcher.
4 or 5 runs come in.
Yeah.
And he does a great job. He goes 4 2/3, only allows 3 hits, strikes out 6. He did a pretty good job, collected the dub as well.
Yeah. Nico Zeglin, the guy who came after him, did pretty well as well. He goes 3, allows 4 hits, a walk, gets 5 Ks, and he gets his first save of the season.
Numero uno.
Yeah. So Gonzaga out hits Oregon State 17 to 11 in this one. Every Gonzaga batter had a hit in this game, which is kind of crazy. Tuesday, Oregon State wins this one 9-4. Gonzaga gets 4 runs across in the first, and that's where their scoring ends for the day. The RBI hits, right? They combined for a cycle. I don't know if you saw that. They had a single, double, triple, and a home run.
All the score.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. But Oregon State then gets 4 back in the bottom of the second to tie it up. In the bottom half of the third, Caden Treckle doubles to center field, and he gets 3 runs across. The Beavers get 1 more in the 6th and 8th as well, and put this game away. So,
do you think this little midweek matchup is kind of just the story for who Oregon State is? I mean, you have them beating teams that are worse than them, and then, teams that are at their level, or I'd say, yeah, at their level, they kind of, pitter patter around. They might win 2, or they might split a series. They might, take 2 of 3, but they're not very convincing wins. Do you think that's like a story of who they are?
I don't know. The Pac-12 is kind of weird, right? Like, it's not, you don't have a ton of, like, I don't want to say top tier teams, but like you have a lot of teams that are all kind of equal. I think Oregon State's still just way too high. I don't think it's who they are necessarily, but because Gonzaga is a good team.
Yeah.
Like, they were just in the top 25, or no, they still are. Yeah. They're number 12 now. So I think for them to split this, as much as you would like to take it 2 at home, I don't think that was realistic. I think Gonzaga is a good enough baseball team that they were able to take 1. They lose that first game mostly, I would say, just because they're getting out hit.
Yeah.
In the second game, they turn it around and they get 9 walks to Gonzaga's 1. So I think that's what they got to start doing more. They just need to be more selective when they're at the plate. And if you can do that, you can get on base more, you can make better hits, you can get more runs batted in. And that's kind of what they did in that second game. So it seems like they kind of settled in and they decided to be more selective in that second game. And I think if they can be selective at the plate throughout the rest of the year, Arizona State's obviously going to take the Pac-12, but they might finish second.
Obviously. As he's wearing an Arizona State baseball shirt.
No bias. All right. Well, let's get into Tuesday fully here. We got Kentucky at 16, Louisville. I took Louisville.
Yeah, I took Louisville as well. We both end up being right in this. Louisville wins 4-2. The Wildcats actually out-hit the Cardinals 8-4 in this one.
Yeah.
Cameron Masterson's solo shot in the bottom of the first is what gives Louisville an early lead. Then they score 2 more in the third. on a Jack Payton single to left, and they're basically on cruise control after that.
Yeah. Louisville uses 8 different pitchers in this game, but I do want to shout out Michael Prusecki. He goes 1 1/3, allows 1 earned run on 1 hit, 2 walks with 2 Ks to pick up his 7th save of the year.
Yeah, they strike out 11 and leave 10 on base. It was a pretty good day for their staff. I mean, those guys come in and throw mostly 1 inning, 2/3 of an inning.
Yeah, I think that's impressive, especially when you use that many guys. Like it's when you have that many guys, one guy could definitely have a bad couple at bats and that could set you on a tough course. But each one of these guys kind of came in and took their inning or so or last or whatever it was.
And they
made the most of it. So anything else on that?
I just had thoughts on Louisville. They bounced back against, a pretty good Kentucky team after they got swept last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They got NC State this upcoming weekend.
Yep, I'm going to talk about them later.
Yeah, who you think for Louisville is their key to success?
I mean, it's going to be hitting, I think. I mean, Michael Prusecki is a huge part of that, the back end of the bullpen. He comes in and he's really proved to be like a closer for them. And I think if they can keep it close, he's going to shut it down. But I think hitting is their strong suit. Between Cameron Masterson, Ben Metzinger, they got a couple other guys who just...
That one dude, I don't know how to say his last name. It's like Napchik or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But like Levi Usher's pretty good. Like they got dudes hitting. It's one of those things that they almost have to... It's not like Georgia Tech where they have to out hit to win. Their pitching staff can get it done like we see today. But their bats have to be rolling for them to
win a series.
Yeah, I think so. Because you're not going to have these games all the time with them where they're able to shut it down, I think. And their pitching staff really blows, like, I was blown away by what they did.
Especially to use that many guys and to shut it down.
Yeah. So I think Louisville's still one of the better teams in the ACC for sure. So I don't know if that answers your question, but.
Well, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I asked who you thought the keys to success were.
Yeah. So I would say Cameron Masterson, Michael Prusecki, Ben Metzinger.
Yeah, they're all studs.
So
next game we had is the UTSA Roadrunners at number 17 Texas State Bobcats. I took UTSA.
I took Texas State.
Texas State wins 14-12. UTSA out hits Texas State 20-13. Texas State, they score 7 in the bottom of the 4th to go up 11-3. And the Roadrunners are basically playing catch up at this point.
Yeah, they go on a run in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, they almost closed the gap. They scored 7 in the top of the 9th to make this one a lot closer.
Yeah.
Within 2 runs, but they can't, complete that comeback. Jose Gonzalez for Texas State, left fielder. He goes 3 for 4 with a homer, a double, 5 ribbies, and a walk.
Yeah. Texas State does make 3 errors in this game. It accounts for 3 unearned runs, but it doesn't seem to matter. Now it does make it makes them start to sweat a little bit at the end. Don't get me wrong, but even with those 3 runs, they're able to pull off this win. So next one we got is 23 Dallas Baptist at A&M. I took A&M, even though I don't know. I kind of did the Patriots dirty. Yeah. Well, A&M's going to win it 14-1 in 7 innings. A&M gets 6 in the first. 5 of these runs come off of 3 home runs, and then they score in every inning after this as well. Texas A&M out-hits Dallas Baptist 12-4. They outwalk them 9-2, and they also hit 5 home runs in this game. DH Logan Britt goes 3 for 4 with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs, and then right fielder Brett Minnick goes 2 for 4 with a homer and 3 RBIs.
Do you think that Dallas Baptist deserves that number 23 spot that they're at right now? I mean, they've swept Southern Miss this year.
Yeah.
Who's the number 6 team in the country. They've lost to some really good ranked teams like Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Those were close games, even though they lost them. I mean, this one wasn't very close, but
No.
I think that's really speaks to Texas A&M.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's one of those things where we've talked about it before. They've had one of the toughest schedules this year. And their record doesn't really show that they should be in the top 25, but the strength of schedule would show that with their record, they should be like right there.
So you think they deserve that number 23 spot?
I think so. I think they have a good chance to follow the top 25 again this week, though.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about them later, right?
Yeah.
And they play Southern Illinois, who's a really good team.
Yeah.
I think for them to stay in the top 25, they have to sweep Southern Illinois. I think if they go 2-2, if they lose one game, they'll go 2-2 on the week and end up dropping out.
I think I agree. I think it's one of those things where they may not end up back in the top 25 this season. They might. I don't know if they will, if they drop out.
Yeah.
But
I have to look at the rest of their schedule.
But either way, I think they're a lock for a regional team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
At this point, I mean, we got a little less than half of the season to go, but I don't see how you disclude them from that. So, I mean, top 25 is like, it's important.
On how their conference tournament goes.
Yeah, I mean, top 25 is important. Don't get me wrong. But unless you're one of those top, like 8 teams or wherever, I think that's what the regionals are, right? Top 8. Does it matter as much after that? Yeah, kind of, because it determines seeding, but I think they'll be like right in the middle. So with that being said, they'll be playing like a 2, or they'll either be 2 or 3. So I don't know. I think Dallas Baptist is still a good team. I think when we get to regional play, they're going to be like, listen, we know what we've done wrong in these games where we've lost to good teams, better teams. If we can improve those things, we can make a fairly deep run, I think.
Yeah, and I feel like the last few weeks of the schedule will really show that, to see what they can clean up.
Yeah.
They have Southern Illinois, which is a really good team. Next week, during the week, they have TCU, which they should be able to beat because TCU sucks. Then they got Oklahoma again in the middle of the week. They got another middle of the week matchup against Oklahoma State. I mean, and they have some conference games that are definitely winnable. I think they can definitely improve and then show who they are in those last few weeks.
I think with those
if
3,
they got the grit,
Yeah, I think with those 3 games, they still have to have left to play in the midweek. If you can win 2 out of those, 2 or 3 out of those, it can kind of give you some momentum, I think. And you can
show you can do it.
Exactly. And I think if they can do that, which I think they can, I mean, they have been close in a lot of these games, except for this one. This one was not very close, but in a lot of these other games, they've been close. And I think if they can win one like convincingly and maybe steal one, I think you're going to be in a good position to
for sure
get into regionals and maybe make a decent run. So
next game we got is number 6 Southern Miss at Tulane.
My first wrong one.
I went 2 for 3. Not a great one, but
I mean, I took the tie. So
Southern Miss wins 11-5. Only one guy in their lineup doesn't get a hit.
Yeah.
Two of the guys in their lineup don't have an RBI, which is very impressive.
Yeah.
Dustin Dickerson, he goes 3 for 5 with 2 doubles and 2 RBIs. So
yeah, I mean, Southern Miss pitchers combined for 17 punchies in this one. Landon Harper specifically, he goes 2 2/3, allows 1 earned on 3 hits, a walk, gets 5 Ks, and picks up his 7th save of the season. So
yeah, Southern Miss just continues to keep rolling.
Yeah, I think sitting at number 6, they're right there, right outside the top 5.
They're real close.
Yeah,
and I think it's a deserving spot, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, I
don't know who I will put ahead of them. Maybe Virginia Tech.
Yeah. I mean, they're really hot right now, so that makes it hard to pick a lot of teams over them. But they just keep. I think the thing is, for you to stay in the top 10 and prove that you're like right near a top 5 team, you got to keep winning when you're supposed to win, and they've kind of done that. I mean, Tulane's a good team, but
Tulane was a top 25 team at one point in the season.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think the Golden Eagles are rolling right now, and
How many wins they got in a row? Holy shit. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They've, I think, 11 straight.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into our upsets. New Mexico beats number 9 Texas Tech. New Mexico would be down 10-7 going into the bottom of the 9th. Kyle Smith would come in huge in a pitch hitting situation and get an RBI single to center to start the rally. Cody Holtz would pinch hit for Sean Stevens on a 3-2 count. He would double and move Smith to third. And then Jeffrey David would then come up to the plate. He would hit a ding dong to right field and walk it off for the Lobos. The Lobos out hit the Red Raiders in this one, 21-13. Jeffrey David, he finished 4 for 6 on the day, so pretty good day for him.
Talk about one of the most generic names of all time. Jeffrey David. Jeff Dave, he has a great day. Texas Tech, their struggles continue.
5 straight losses.
Yeah, 5 straight losses. That's tough. They're 6-8 in their last 14. We've talked about it in the past few episodes, their struggles as of late.
Yeah.
They got a tough WVU coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, it could get worse.
It might.
It could get worse.
It definitely could. Clemson is going to beat number 14 Georgia 8-4. Clemson will be up 4-0 going into the bottom of the 5th. The Bulldogs answer and get 4 runs, and that's all they're scoring for the day. Clemson then gets 2 in the 6th and 1 in the 7th and 8th and put this game away. So
Georgia, they got a tough remaining schedule.
Yeah.
You haven't looked at it?
No, I haven't looked at it recently. I feel like I've looked at it at some point, but I haven't looked at it like recently enough to.
They got remember. Bama this weekend. The weekend after that, they got LSU. The weekend after that, they got Vandy. The weekend after that, they got the Tennessee Volunteers.
Yeah. They're
sitting at number 2 in the SEC East right now. Do you think that stays?
Who's chomping on their heels?
Let's look. Chomping on the heels of the Georgia Bulldogs is Vanderbilt, who is 2 games behind them.
Yeah, they're not gonna stay at number 2.
They got Florida, who's 3 games behind them, and South Carolina, who's 3 games behind them.
Okay, so South Carolina isn't gonna jump ahead of them. Vandy, I think, will. Georgia, Florida, have they played yet this year?
I think they have. I think we previewed it. Yeah, because that was the game that we were watching together down here.
That's right. Yeah, that's
Georgia,
right.
Georgia won it.
Yeah. So Georgia got the sweep. So I think if they can, as long as they stay ahead of Georgia, they have that head-to-head. So I think they'll fall behind Vandy, though. So I think they'll finish 3, probably, would be my guess.
All right. Next upset we got is the Oral Roberts taking down the number 3 Oklahoma State. They win 15-9. It goes 12 innings. Oral Roberts, they score 6 runs in the top of the 12th, and the Cowboys can't recover.
Yeah, I mean, they out-hit Oklahoma State 18-3 in this one. Oklahoma State has 4 errors. It only accounts for 1 unearned run, but sloppy play is going to kill you. There's 38 combined Ks in this game, which is kind of cool. 22 are by Oklahoma State. So I don't know. I do want to shout out Oral Roberts, Jacob Hall. He goes the last 3 innings of this game, allows no base runners, gets 6 Ks, and picks up his 2nd dub of the year. So
nice.
That's really impressive.
For sure, especially against Oklahoma State.
The number 3 team in the country, shutting them down, not giving up 1 base runner.
It's impressive.
Striking out 6 of 9.
Yeah.
That's impressive by that young man.
Next. By that young man.
He's probably as old or a year younger than me.
Next upset we got is Air Force taking down number 10 Texas.
Yeah.
They win this one convincingly 14-2.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, I don't really have a big synopsis. There's not really much to say.
No, I mean, they dominate this game. They get a huge 6-run second, 5 in the 8th.
Yeah, this is just another example of Texas offense being, streaky. You have the meat of their order, who's always very consistent, but outside of that, you don't know what you're going to get. I mean, Ivan Melendez, you can expect, 2 or 3 home runs a week.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's
kind of hard to tell.
Yeah.
I do want to shout out a couple guys for the Falcons here. Left fielder Gabriel Garcia goes 2 for 3 with a double. He also has a walk, has 5 RBIs, and I think he got boinked. Catcher Paul Skenes goes 1 for 4 with a walk, a homer, and 4 RBIs. And then relief pitcher Rob Martin, he comes in the 4th, goes 4 innings, allows 1 unearned run, no base runners, 3 Ks, and picks up the dub, improving his record for the year to 2-2.
Yeah, I think this is like the Big 12 looked rough yesterday, or not yesterday, this past week.
Yeah.
I mean, just when you think one of these teams loses and they might be able to get some sort of a lead.
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't happen. I mean, you have Oklahoma State's leading the conference right now. TCU is a half game behind them. West Virginia is a game and a half back. You got Texas Tech 2 back and Texas 3 games back.
Yeah.
I mean, if Oklahoma State would have lost, and then, I mean, it's not conference game, so it wouldn't have really mattered, but.
No, I mean, Oklahoma State did lose, and Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, Texas. I mean, those are the top. You would say those are the top teams in this conference, right? All 3 of them lost a midweek matchup to teams that they probably should have beaten.
Exactly.
It doesn't look great for the Big 12.
It doesn't.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens this weekend. I kind of feel like they're just going to eat themselves alive again this weekend. So it's going to be interesting. That conference tournament's going to be real interesting.
It definitely is. So, there's a lot of teams that are capable of winning.
Yeah, for sure.
Last upset we got is VCU taking down number 11 Virginia 9-7. Jacob Selden hits a walk-off 2-run jack to take down the Cavaliers. That's what I got.
Yeah. Connor Hughes-Jack hits a grand slam in the 3rd as well. I want to give a shout out to relief pitcher Nolan Wilson, who goes 3 1/3. He allows 3 walks, gets 3 Ks, and he gets the 4th win of the season and shuts it down for the Rams. And then we have one more. It's an upset that's not really an upset.
Florida, in our opinion.
Yeah. Florida State beats number 25, Georgia Southern. They win it 6-5 and 11, and they walk it off with a walk, which is always kind of funny to me.
It is.
I feel like
you couldn't just throw anything across the plate.
Just throw something across the plate.
Like throw just a fastball right down the middle. Just don't walk them.
Throw some slop jalop right down the middle, but don't walk them home. That's just, it's so it's anticlimactic. I'm looking for it, but yeah, it's anticlimactic, and it's just kind of like, if you're watching that game and you're in the 11th inning and you're like, oh yeah, bases loaded, and he walks to end the game, you're just like,
especially for an upset too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It just sucks.
Yeah. Oh well, Georgia Southern. I don't know who they have this weekend, but I'm sure they can bounce back.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, let's move to
hold on. They got South Alabama.
I think they got that.
The Jaguars, right?
Yeah. Let's move to the weekend preview for week 10. We got Wake Forest at 18 Notre Dame. Wake Forest is 28-9. They're 10-8 in conference play. Notre Dame is 23-8. They're 8-7 in conference play. What are you thinking?
I don't know. We've talked about these teams a lot.
Yeah.
Not in a few weeks have we talked about them.
Yeah.
I mean, Wake Forest has a pretty potent offense.
Yeah, they're much better.
Yeah. Notre Dame, we've talked about it all year. Their pitching staff is great.
Their numbers have started to bindle, it looks like.
Yeah.
They're sitting at a 3.40 ERA, and I remember at one point
it was like 2-3 or something like that.
Yeah, it was like low.
Yeah.
It was real low. I mean, Notre Dame is better fielding wise. They're better on the base paths too. They have 41 steals compared to Wake Forest 17. Do you want to move to players to watch?
Sure. Yeah. My player for Wake Forest is going to be Brendan Tinsman. Not only does he have a great name, he's a great hitter.
Yeah.
He's hitting 355 right now, 14 homers, 42 ribbies. He's got 10 doubles and a 723 slug.
Okay.
He's pretty nasty.
Yeah. I'm going to go with first baseman Nick Kurtz. The freshman through 37 games has hit 343.
He's the guy from Lancaster.
Yeah.
For sure.
He has a 478 on-base percentage with 10 home runs and 38 RBIs. He also leads the team in runs with 48 and is tied for first in doubles with 11. My pitcher is going to be Camden Manaki. The sophomore righty through 20 appearances has gone 29 2/3, posting a 1.52 ERA with 45 Ks. He also leads the team in saves with 5, and he's held batters to a 173 average. For Notre Dame, who do you have?
I have Ryan Cole.
Okay.
He's hitting 312 right now. He's got 5 doubles, 5 homers, which is tied for second on the team, 16 walks, 12 stolen bases, and he's 12 for 12 in stolen base attempts.
Nice. I'm going to take first baseman Carter Putz. The senior through 31 games has hit 355. He has a 416 on-base percentage with 5 home runs and 28 RBIs, which is second on the team. He also leads the team in triples with 3, runs with 31, and then he's second in doubles with 7. And then my pitcher is going to be John M. Bertrand, who we talk about all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The lefty through 9 starts is 5-0, has a 168 ERA over 59 innings pitched with 63 Ks. So now that we've talked about hitting, pitching, fielding, whatever, who are you taking?
This is tough because I really think if last week hadn't happened, I would probably take Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But Notre Dame got swept by Duke last weekend, and Duke is like right now one of the worst teams in the ACC.
They're still going to bounce back and take it. They're way too far down, but
I'm going to go with Wake Forest.
I'm taking Wake Forest.
I think they might actually be able to jump into the top 25 after this.
Yeah, I mean, they're 28-9, which is like they're right there. I feel like they got to be right out of the top 25 right now. So I think if they take 2 out of 3, if they sweep them, I think that would be even more convincing, and it would help my Notre Dame falling out of the top 25 pick. So next one we got is 21 TCU at 3 Oklahoma State. TCU is 25-12. They're 10-5 in conference play. Oklahoma State is 26-11. They're 9-3 in conference play. I think Oklahoma State has a slight pitching advantage. I think they're better fielding wise as well. I'm going to give TCU a slight edge in hitting though.
I thought offensively, I thought their numbers were pretty similar.
I mean, yeah, they are.
There wasn't really any, like, if it just like, it was kind of back and forth whether on each category on who had the lead.
Yeah, I'm taking TCU just because they have a couple more RBIs. They have a little bit better of an on-base percentage, and they have 13 more steals. So that's why I'm putting the pin in that and saying that they're a little bit better offensively. My player to watch, well, I have 2 as always. My hitter to watch for TCU is going to be shortstop Tommy Sacco, who's a senior. Through 37 games, he's hit 387.
Dude, his name is not Sacco.
I think it's Seiko.
Probably.
It's Seiko. I'm sorry, Tommy. He has a 470 on-base percentage, so he leads the team in average and on-base percentage. He has 6 home runs, which is second on the team, and then he has 30 RBIs. He also leads the team in doubles, and he's second in stolen bases with 8.
I have Elijah Nunez, sophomore outfielder. This dude's pretty nasty. He's hitting 302 right now, which isn't blowing. I mean, hitting 300 is impressive.
Yeah.
He's got 18 stolen bases on 19 attempts.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He's got 35 walks too. I mean, he's going to be on base and swiping bags this weekend.
Yeah.
Even though TCU sucks.
Do you know who my pitcher is? I bet you do.
Mm-mm.
It's River Ridings.
I was looking at him and I was like, I can't pick him because Connor's going.
The lefty through 15 appearances, he now has 10 saves on the year. He has a 2.35 ERA over 15 and a third innings pitched with 15 Ks. So basically a K an inning, which is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
For Oklahoma State, who do you have?
I have sophomore right-handed pitcher Justin Campbell. He started all 9 of his appearances this year. He's going 57 and a third innings, posted a 2.98 ERA. a .92 whip, and 81 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
I had him as my pitcher, so I will move to my hitter, and that's going to be first baseman David Mendham, who is a junior. He's hit 316. He has a 418 on base percentage with 4 home runs and 26 RBIs, which is second on the team. He also leads the team in doubles with 12 through 34 games this year. So what are you thinking? I'm kind of torn between this one.
I'm not torn.
I know who you're taking. You're taking K-State.
Yeah, I think TCU stinks.
I know you think TCU stinks. I don't know. The thing that's making me question this, right? So Oklahoma State just lost that game on Tuesday, and it went into 12. Now, I know they have a couple days to recover, but they lose that game at home. They're at home here. Are they going to be able to bounce back Friday? Because if they don't bounce back Friday,
they're going to have to win 2 straight.
They're going to have to win 2 straight, and I don't think they can do it. So I think I'm going to take TCU just to kind of counter you. I'm going to take TCU 2 out of 3. I'm going to have my boy River Ridings closing it out for 2 of them.
I think Oklahoma State definitely can win Friday night. I mean, they used a bunch of pitchers in that midweek matchup.
Yeah.
You know, they have their ace on the bump on Friday.
Yeah.
They should be able to get it done without having too many worries about the bullpen.
Yeah.
I think they'll be fine. I think Oklahoma State is good.
Yeah.
I think they're probably the second best team in this conference, even though actually
they're on top right now.
Yeah, they're sitting at number 1. And I think TCU stinks. So
yeah, I mean,
actually, I don't think they stink. I don't think they're the top 25 team.
I know.
So let's move into our next matchup, which is going to be Southern Illinois at number 23, Dallas Baptist. Southern Illinois is 26-10. They got a 4-2 conference record. They're 6-2 in their last 8 games. Dallas Baptist is 23-13. They're 4-2 in their conference and a 5-3 record in their last 8 games. I think offensively, Southern Illinois has an edge here. After that, I think Dallas Baptist has a slight pitching edge. I don't think it's much of an advantage.
Yeah, they both kind of suck pitching wise.
Yeah, defensively, I'm going to go with Dallas Baptist.
Yeah, I agree with you. My players to watch. Let's just move to that.
Sure.
Southern Illinois, I have JT Weber. He's a senior.
Same.
And he's kind of a utility man. He kind of does everything. Through 36 games, he's hit 397.
Nasty.
He is a 1.219 OPS.
Nasty.
Which is first on the team in both categories.
Nasty.
He has 14 home runs.
Nasty.
First on the team. 35 RBIs, which is actually second.
Still nasty.
Still nasty. And then he's first in runs with 44.
I mean, 14 home runs is 4 home runs behind the NCAA lead.
Yeah.
So this dude is gonna hit the ball hard.
Yeah. I had to search for a pitcher, but I found one. It's gonna be Noah Farmer, the senior righty through 10 starts. He's 3-1, which is kind of crazy. He's gone 47 innings pitched, posting a 3.26 ERA with 37 Ks. So, I mean, it's a pitcher. So.
Yeah. My player for Dallas Baptist is going to be Blaine Jones. You take him?
Son of a gun. Yeah.
We had the same player both.
Yeah, because I thought you were going to take Jace Grady.
Uh-huh.
So I took Blaine Jones because I was like, oh, yeah, Brendan will take him, and then we'll have 2 different players. Way to go.
Anyways, Blaine Jones, he's a 5th-year infielder.
Mm-hmm.
He's hitting 299, which isn't blowing you out of the water, but he has a 912 OPS, which is very impressive. He's hit 12 doubles on the year.
Yeah. I mean, he has a 542 slug, which is kind of crazy. He has 7 home runs and 28 RBIs, which are tied for first on the team. 12 doubles, leads the team, and then he's second in runs with 32. My pitcher is going to be Jacob Meter, who is a sophomore righty. Through 9 appearances, he's sitting at 6-1. He's posted a 3.04 ERA over 47 in the 3rd innings pitched with 62 fanned. He's also held batters to a 198 average. I don't know about this one as well.
This is tough for me, but
yeah,
like obviously it's not tough because I'm picking my boys, the Dallas Baptist Patriots.
Yeah, that's where I'm having a tough time because I already picked against them this week and it worked for me.
Yeah.
I think the thing here is, yeah, Dallas Baptist has a slight pitching edge, but they're both pretty awful.
Yeah.
I think hitting is going to be the key here. They're almost identical in home runs, but Southern Illinois has a much better average, more runs batted in. I don't know.
I'm going Dallas Baptist sweep so they don't drop out of the top 25.
Okay. I'm taking Southern.
Go with your gut.
I'm taking Southern Illinois 2 out of 3.
You're a scumbag. Next matchup we're gonna have is a Big Ten conference matchup. 24 Maryland at Illinois.
Yeah.
Maryland is 30-7. Very impressive. 7-2 conference record. They're also 7-1 in their last 8 games. The Illinois Fighting Illini are 19-15, but they're 10-2 in conference play, which is what is most impressive about this matchup.
Yeah,
and I think that's why we picked it.
Yeah, we haven't done a lot of Big Ten games recently, so I feel like this might be our first. Maybe not our first. I feel like we did Maryland against Michigan.
Yeah.
But that was weeks ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah,
that was like week 3. I feel like.
Yeah. So I think Maryland has the hitting and pitching advantage. I think Illinois is a little bit better in the field. What do you think? You kind of agree with me, or?
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Okay.
We can go to players then.
Yeah.
So for Maryland, I got Luke Schlinger.
Nice.
Sophomore catcher. He is hitting 347 with a 1.045 slug, 11 doubles, 11 stolen base. Yeah.
I mean, 11 stolen bases as a catcher.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Dude's got wheels.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'm gonna take center fielder Chris Allain, the 5th year. Alien, is that how you said it?
Yep.
I wasn't sure, so I just guessed.
He was my player a couple times for Maryland.
Okay. He's a 5th year player. Through 37 games, he's hit 311. He has a 414 on base percentage. He has 10 home runs and 36 RBIs. Both those are second on the team. He's tied in first in stolen bases with your guy with 11.
Yep.
And then he's tied in runs as well with 37. And then my pitcher, I think you know who it's going to be.
Yep.
Jason Savakul, the sophomore righty. Through 9 starts, he's 6-2. He's gone 64 innings pitched, has a 2.39 ERA with 76 Ks. He also has a whip of 0.95. This dude's absolutely filthy.
He's nasty. Illinois, I got Danny Dollagale.
Okay.
He's a sophomore outfielder. He's hitting 315 with an 854 slug and 11 stolen bases.
Nice.
If you caught on to any trends in this week's matchup, it was stolen bases.
I like that. For Illinois, I am going to take right fielder Cam McDonald, the junior, through 34.
Baby.
Through 34 games, he's hit 361. He has a 1.007 OPS with 6 home runs and 36 RBIs. He's first in both of those categories, and he's tied for second in doubles with 10. And then my pitcher is going to be Cole Kirschmeyer, the sophomore lefty. Through 9 starts, he's 4-2. He has a 2.75 ERA over 52 and a 3rd innings pitched with 57 Ks.
I'm proud of you for getting that one out.
Yeah, I think I got it right too.
I think so too.
Yeah. I was looking at it, I was like, I'm gonna slaughter this name, but I think I got it right.
Watch, he like responds and is like, that is
that's not even close. I'd be like, I'm sorry, I tried my best.
I'm going with Maryland.
Yeah. Are you taking sweep or 2 out of 3?
I'm gonna go 2 out of 3.
I'm gonna take 2 out of 3 as well. Illinois is 6-2 in their last 8. They actually won 6 going into Tuesday or Wednesday before they lost to Indiana State. They're 9-1 at home. I don't think Maryland's gonna be able to sweep them at home, but I think they'll take this series.
All righty.
Next one we got St. Joseph's at VCU. This is our A10 winners matchup.
Yep, I took VCU in our conference previews. Connor took St. Joseph's.
Yep.
It's obvious who we're going to pick in this one because I'm not going to
stray from your pick.
Yeah, I'm not gonna forsake my picks like somebody else on this podcast. So VCU, they're 20-15. They're 5-4 in conference play. In their last 8 games, they're 5-3.
St. Joseph's is 20-14. They're 6-3 in conference, and they're 6-2 in their last 8.
You want to go for a player?
Yeah, I can go. I have catcher Andrew Cassetti. He was my conference preview player to watch, and he's been raking through 34 games. He's hit 341. He has a 1.261 OPS. He's first in OPS. He also has 14 home runs and 50 RBIs, which is first on his team in both. And
some might say that's pretty good.
Yeah, I would. And he's second on his team in doubles and runs. He has 12 doubles and 42 runs. So this dude's been balling.
He's been putting up like conference player of the year numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
My player is going to be Tyler Locklear, who actually was the conference player of the year last year. Mm-hmm. He was my player to watch for conference previews. He's hitting 307, which isn't, great.
It's not bad.
It's good, but it's not great for the best player on your team. Mm-hmm. He's leading the team at 307. He's got 9 homers and 32 ribbies. I'm going with the Commonwealth, obviously.
Yeah, I'm taking St. Joseph's. I have the Atlantic 10 conference record pulled up right now. So Davidson is 8-1. They're sitting at first. St. Joseph's, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island are all tied at second with a 6-3 record. And then VCU is with St. Louis and George Washington at, what would that be, 5th, tied for 5th at a 5-4 record.
And that's still not too far behind. So
no. So we'll see what happens. We'll get a little bit more clarity after this weekend, and hopefully one of us are right. It looks like Davidson might be the team to beat right now, though. They've won 7 straight. They're 29-6. So
next matchup we have is going to be the showdown in the desert.
Yep.
My squad, the Arizona Wildcats, going against Connor's Arizona Sun Devils. This one is going to be in Tucson. University of Arizona is 26-12, 11-7 in conference play. They're 5-3 in their last 8.
Arizona State's 19-19. They're sitting at 500, but we're going to be above 500 after this weekend, baby. They're 8-7 in conference play, and they're 5-3 in their last 8 as well.
Yeah, they've won 5 straight too.
Yep.
So I'm going to go with a couple players. Connor didn't want me to. Daniel Susak, the All-American catcher. He's going to be a stud on this team for the Wildcats. He's hitting 382 right now. Stud. He's got a 1.052 OPS with 7 homers, 35 ribbies, 15 doubles. We got Tanner Otremba, a junior outfielder. He's hitting 359 with a 1.029 OPS, 22 doubles. He's got 64 putouts and 0 errors right now. He's sitting at 1,000 fielding percentage. And then for pitcher, I got Quinn Flanagan. He's a junior righty reliever. He's thrown 31 innings. He's got a 1.45 ERA, a 1.1 WHIP, 36 strikeouts, and only 9 walks.
Nice. I don't have a pitcher because the Sun Devils pitching staff is not the best, but they're working on it. I think they're improving.
They're turning it around for sure.
I'll have someone to pick next time we preview the Sun Devils. But this
Why would we ever want to preview them again?
Well, when we get to conference tournament and they're sitting at first, that's when we're going to want to talk about them. So
gotcha.
Center fielder Joe Lampe is my first guy.
Lampe.
I think so. It's either Joe Lamp or Joe Lampe. There's an E at the end, so it's kind of throwing me off. But
it's probably Joe Lamp.
I think so. You think it's a silent E?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go with Lamp. I love Lamp. Through 37 games, he's hit 3.
Little Anchorman reference.
He's hit 325. He has a 1.019 OPS, which is first on the team. He has 9 home runs and 29 RBIs. He's first in home runs and tied first with RBIs. He's also first in steals with 7, and he is tied for first in doubles with 16 and runs with 42. My other guy is going to be Connor Davis, the first baseman grad student. Through 38 games. He's hit 340. He has a 440 on-base percentage with 5 home runs and 26 RBIs. Plus, he has that beautiful first name. So,
It's all right.
Right now, neither one of us are at the top of the conference. Arizona State's the second hottest team as of right now in Pac-12 play, only behind Oregon. What are you thinking? I mean, I know who you're gonna pick, but neither one of us are. We're all in the middle of the pack, right? Arizona's a half game
Well,
back.
middle of the pack, I wouldn't really say that.
Yeah, so I would. Arizona
State definitely is middle of the pack.
It's 2 games back.
They're middle of the pack, but they're only 2 games back.
There's a lot of good teams in front of Arizona State, at least. You got UCLA, Stanford, Arizona sucks, Oregon, and then Oregon State is okay. So, I mean, it's gonna be a
fight for the end of the end of this year. I mean, both of these teams have obviously they have a tough rest of the year. Arizona, the Arizona Wildcats have Arizona State this upcoming weekend. They have Nevada the weekend after that, which is
that's not easy.
Yeah, that's not a slouch matchup against that Mountain West team. They got a Grand Canyon middle of the week matchup. They got USC, who's sitting at the bottom of the Pac-12 right now, but they're still a very good team.
Yeah.
They got Oregon State the weekend after that. Then they got Oregon after that. They got a rough remaining schedule. Arizona State to end the year.
I can take this. Yeah. They got UCLA next weekend.
They got UNLV too in a midweek matchup, which is going to be a tough one too.
Yep. They got Utah, which Utah proved last week. They're not an easy out. They got Grand Canyon for a middle of the week matchup. Then they're at Oregon. They're at home versus Oregon, but they're going to take that series because it's the 1981 College World Series champion team reunion, and they're going to show out for them. And then they finish the year at Washington State, which, I mean, if they can sweep that, that's going to set them up perfectly for Pac-12 tournament play.
Yeah, that's a good team to end the year on, because I don't think Washington State is one of the best teams.
They're sitting at
no shade thrown.
They're sitting right above USC, but I think USC is the better team, honestly. Yeah. So let's move to honorable mentions. I'll let you go first, and then I'll finish it out. So as you guys can kind of tell, we did it a little bit different this week just because we had our conference winners matchup. And then we had our rivalry matchup. So we had to talk about those a little bit. So we're actually going to have 4 honorable mentions just because there were a lot of there's a lot of good games going on this weekend.
Mm-hmm. My first honorable mention is going to be the Pittsburgh Panthers at number 5 Miami Hurricanes. Pitt is 21-14. They got a 9-8 conference record. I mean, Pitt has shown that they can beat good teams. Miami, they're 18-3 in their last 21 games.
Mm-hmm.
I can't pick Pitt. I hate Pitt so much. And honestly, if Pitt wasn't Pitt, I would take them because I'm a sucker for an underdog.
Yeah.
But it's Pitt, so I'm going with Miami.
I don't like Pitt either. I hate Pitt.
Yeah. They definitely have a shot to win it,
I think if they weren't playing Miami, I think it would be easier to pick them. If they were playing another ACC team, I think it might be a little bit easier.
Probably wouldn't be an honorable mention then.
Yeah, probably. That's a good point.
Next game I got is number 4 Arkansas Razorbacks at the Texas A&M Aggies. Arkansas, they're 30-7, 11-4 in conference play. A&M is 23-12. They're 8-7 in conference play. A&M has showed countless times throughout this year that they can beat any ranked team. That being said, I don't think it's going to happen. I got Arkansas.
I think that's fair. I think it's going to get. I think it'll be interesting just because A&M is home though.
Yeah, and they definitely could do it. I'm not saying that it's like completely out of the question that it's going to happen.
I think they're hot, especially when you win 14-1 against Dallas Baptist, who's not a bad team.
Yeah, and it's not like Arkansas's pitching staff is, one of the best in the country. No. They got a really great offense.
Yeah.
Next matchup I got is UNC at number 11 Virginia. UNC is 23-14 and 8-10 in the ACC. Virginia is 28-10, 10-8 in the ACC. I'm going with the Tar Heels.
Really?
Yeah, I think Virginia is still stumbling. They've lost a lot in the past 2 weeks.
I don't hate that pick.
Yeah, I think the Tar Heels are going to get it done. And then I got a West Coast matchup, Utah at USC. Utah is 21, 14-1, and 7-8 in the Pac-12. USC is 18-6 and 4-11 in the conference, which is
not good.
Terrible.
No bueno.
They're probably not going to make the conference tournament. I'm going with the Utes. Got to go with our boy Scotty.
Yeah.
Let's go Utah.
All right. I have 14 Georgia at Alabama. Georgia is 26-11. They're 9-6 in conference play. Bama is 23-15. They are 8-7 in conference play. Give me the Bama upset here at home.
I could see it.
Next one I got is West Virginia at 9, Texas Tech. West Virginia is 23-12. They're 6-3 in conference play. Texas Tech is 27-13. They're 7-5 in conference play. I was really kicking this one around. Texas Tech is 18-1 at home. They're hard to beat at home.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm taking the Mountaineers with the upset 2 out of 3 because Texas Tech has not looked good recently.
I like it. That's who I would have gone with too.
Next one I got is NC State at 16, Louisville. NC State is 24-11. They're 10-7 in conference play. Louisville is 25-11. They're 9-6 in conference play. I'm taking the Wolfpack upset 2 out of 3. They're a little bit hotter. Louisville split their last 8. So
you think they could, if they win this against Louisville, you think they can jump back in?
I think they got to be right there, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I could see it happening, but they're not going to because I love Louisville Cardinals.
Yeah, this is going to be an offensive. There's going to be fireworks.
There is.
It's going to be crazy.
There's going to be like meteor-sized holes in the ground.
Yeah, if you love offense, that's the series you want to check out this weekend for sure. And then my last one's going to be Wofford at Mercer. Wofford is 28-9. They're 6-0 in Southern Conference play. They've won 8 straight. Mercer is 31-6. They're 6-0 in the conference as well, and they're 7-1 in their last 8. They just lost on Tuesday, I believe, or Wednesday. So both of these teams are actually they're tied for first right now in the Southern Conference.
There was Mercer your pick?
Yeah.
Wofford was my pick.
Yeah.
We should have done this as one of our games to preview.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to take Mercer 2 out of 3. I've been high on Mercer. I've been saying, give them the respect.
Yeah.
Give it to them. They're going to take 2 out of 3. And God damn it, they better put them in the top 25. I don't think they will, though, because they lost to Georgia Tech. That's who they lost to on Tuesday. I think if they would have won that, I think they would have had a real good shot. But unless they sweep this series, which I don't see happening, I don't see them in the top 25. But I'm going to keep telling them to give them their respect because they deserve it. They're 31-6. That's ridiculous.
I'd be taking Wofford, the Terriers.
I mean, that's fair.
That is their mascot, right?
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, let's close it out for today. Make sure to follow us on Spotify. Give us that 5-star rating. Subscribe on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up.
Ring the bell for notifications.
And follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Omaha Dreams Pod. Have a great weekend, guys.
Sun Devils suck.
Yeah. Look. Going through changes. Boy meets world, no Korea Topanga. Environment's getting dangerous. Corner boys rock corner stores plus gangbangers. Settle scores with turf wars all in the name of street signs, but in my mind is petty anger. I sympathize with most guys trying to get their weight up. Pockets dry, guess it's time to rob a stranger. Capitalism trained us. Power of the dollar is power, so can you blame us? So my ambitions aren't all that crazy. On top of that, TV raised me. So most of my views and attitudes are fuck you, pay me. And chase the tail of beautiful ladies. Man, it's amazing how lines recorded inside mama's basement can bring me close to an oasis. You know, as a youth back in 02, life was a zoo. 3 bed, 1 bath, 8 under 1 roof. Drug abuse, blind to the truth. Youngest of the troops had a short fuse. Now I spit fires in the booth, rapping over loops like Stella. Watch a nigga groove, let a nigga loose. It's simply the truth. I swear to God, he eat you whack.